This is the Torii, the entrance to the Hachimangu Ginger Shrine. This is a great place to be starting my Kiriyama Road descent. This Torii is quite unique. It's what's known as a Ryobu Torii. Most Tories just have the two pillars, but these ones, two pillars are supported by the four posts attached to it. You see, here and here. Now if you're coming through here from the top, you can actually, there's a wee track that branches off. It brings you into this quite magnificent shrine up here. But if you're not, this is a good place just to sort of have a banana and a drink, take in the view below you before starting your descent. I'm going to attach the video camera to my bike handle so hopefully not too much is going to happen. Not too much, anything wrong will happen. Okay. Well, you've no sooner started than you're coming through some great little environment, my favourite environment, and you get to your first distraction. I'm going to call them distractions because I'm warning you, just be careful when you are biking. If you want to, if you're on foot, you can walk down here and down the bottom. If you're on bike, well, you're going to be mad to go down there. That's my little road down the bottom there, and you can see it a bit further in the distance behind the trees. We drop down here and we've got a very sharp descent, very steep descent, and a sharp U-turn down the bottom. So the problem here is that there's some great rural scenery in front of you as you head down that corner, so just be careful. Don't let that adrenaline run or take over. Just make sure your hands are on the brakes. Okay. Okay, in the previous video clip I was standing up there looking down. Quite a drop. Now if you want to, you can be crazy, walk down those steps. If you've got a bike, you're going to be even more crazier. It's bloody steep. Okay, I'm actually on a small lane that joins the Kiriyama Road down there. You can see the junction just down below it. If you're biking this area from a road over the back, you'd actually come down there. But there's a bit of roadworks up there. But I want to show you another view of Kasagi. This is brilliant. I'll zoom in on Kasagi Yama in the distance. Now the buildings is Kasagi Ginger. A lot of history to attach to this little area. A lot of history. Kasagi, I mean, I've probably said this many a time, is my favourite town. It's lovely. Absolutely adorable little town. I can always find something new to be doing here. I'm just going to zoom in on that green building in the middle of your picture there, if I can bring it in, with a green dome. That's an onsen, a very nice one at that. So if you're coming here and you're doing a bit of hiking or biking, always finish the day off at the onsen. Okay. If you go through that valley up and over there, it brings you into a town called Yagyu. If you take that valley over there, you can carry on, you can eventually come through into Nara or Kamo, which is sort of over to the right of the hills. Okay, I hope it gets warmer, that sun comes out. I don't know whether that's frost or snow there, but this is Japanese countryside at its best, eh? It's so easily to be distracted when you're on a bike. That's why you just got to pay so much attention to where you're going, because one wrong move and God knows where you'll end up. Okay, let's move on. If you're coming down the hill, you wouldn't have seen this. It's quite an obscure little wee shrine here. It's an Inari ginger, because if you look at the two foxes guarding the signifies it's Inari, so people come and pray for good business. But there's another little distraction. I want to show you something. Why, these people hadn't stopped me to greet me down here, I wouldn't have noticed it, but something quite unusual. This little building here. See the unusual little letterbox, but it's this door. It's quite incredible. Let the car go by, isn't it? Quite an amazing little door. Okay. Right. Now one other little thing I want to tell you about. In little towns and villages like this, you have these community bus services, you know, the little wee mini buses that pick people up. And there's one that operates up here. See, my bike's leaning up against it. I mean, the service probably only be about 1 or 2 buses a day, but it's enough to get people down to the train station. More great views from up here. Look at that. Hey, look at those lovely mountains. Oh. Okay, time to go. Right, another distraction before we end. I want to tell you what's just taken place here. See this lovely couple here? They're lovely. And they've helped give me the name of the temple that I've just started at, which is lovely. But this is what Japan's about. This is what you experience when you're in that country. Now, these views are just getting better and better as you come down the hill, sort of overlooking Kasagi. Isn't that great? Hey? I'm actually going to let you into a secret. I'm actually biking uphill filming these. I'll come down. Okay, ooh, like the look of those clouds. Kasagi, great mountain, well worth climbing. There's a Kasagi ginger just almost at the top there, around about there. There's some nice walking tracks up there, and this wee observation point, and a couple of very nice sekibutsu, or stone carvings of Buddha. Okay, you're sort of coming down the hill, you're getting into some S-bends down here, and a couple of little distractions, and one of them is this lovely old house here. I don't know whether it's inhabited or not. I love these designs. Isn't that lovely? But, so you need to be sort of concentrating as you come down here. If this road is slippery and that, you might just want to be careful, but quite a nice old house. So I think it might be attached to a temple or something, I'm not quite sure. It's quite neat. It's something you won't notice when you're coming down. There's this jizo neatly tucked in amongst the bushes there. I don't know whether I explained these to you in the past, but these are everywhere, in the cities, in the country, in some of the most isolated of places. Not all of them are necessarily sort of housed in a little building like this. But this one's quite neat. Okay, getting into some bamboo. So now the adrenaline's rushing. You're coming down, come around this corner and you can see the ends in sight. You've got one more distraction. It's this building here. So just be careful, because that's a very sharp bend you have in front of you. This is a love hotel. Well, what's left of it. She's all closed up. These are a Japanese icon. You find them everywhere. They're very popular too. Some of them are quite upmarket, you know, providing all sorts of services. I won't go into that too much. This one here, looking at the board. Notice board has quite an extensive menu to it. And a library, DVD and water. Oh heavens. I want to tell you a little story about a couple of love hotels not far from where I live. They're in a little back alley, and between them is a rest home. I often ask myself how many times a couple pop down to one of the love hotels for a stroll down memory lane. But as you've come down this corner, just pay attention, because this is quite a sharp one. And then you're at 163. In the distance you can see the Kasagi camping ground in the village of Kasagi and the bridge. Okay, well, you can see, nearly home. I'll just pack up my bike, get out of the way before this truck comes. Hopefully you've reached this point safely. We're at the junction of the Kiriyama Road and Route 163. Let me just cross over here, give you a better view of it. Okay, just in case the adrenaline is rushing and you come down this last stretch and your brakes fail, my suggestion is that you either crash it or you'll stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye, because if you manage to get across this road without getting run down by the traffic, you're going to end up in the bush and possibly all the way down there. So be careful when you come down here. But this is the junction. 163. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, this little trip. Just across the way is the Kasagi or Hashi Bridge across the Kisagawa River, and there's Kasagiyama. Okay, so let's say a big goodbye to you from here, and hopefully you've enjoyed your encounter with Kiriyama Road.